ministers, distinguished guests, and fellow advocates for child safety. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Lydia Matioli. I am a survivor, a child protection advocate from Kenya, and a member of the Global Survivor Council that was formed by the Brave Movement and Together for Girls.
Woo.
I was sexually abused. I was only 5 years old when I was sexually abused by a neighbor. And being so young, I could not comprehend it until later in life. I did not even have the language to vocalize my experience for a very, very long time, until when I started to understand advocacy and I started to understand what sexual violence is. That's when I knew I was violated. I got into advocacy work as a commitment to protect my daughter and other children from the traumas that I had to go through from my abuse. And in my work with survivors for the past 10 years, I have seen how powerful it is to integrate the wisdom and the expertise of survivors in any frameworks or any solutions that we're designing to end violence against children. Unfortunately, that is not the case when it comes to national and international frameworks. Survivors are ignored. No one is listening to our voices. No one is amplifying our voices. And that is why today, as I stand here, I speak for survivors. And my ambition for this conference is that all the nationalities represented here, we will start integrating the wisdom and the expertise of survivors in all of the frameworks that we're designing geared towards ending violence against children. Because we've lived through the experience, we know where the gaps are. And we know what solutions will work and what solutions will not work. And so my call to action is that every nationality represented here should commit to form a national survivor council for your country. And this survivor council can incorporate, survivors who have gone through different forms of violence, and they can advise when you're coming up with policies. They can advise you, what is the best approach? What are some of the trauma-informed practices that should be integrated in all of these policies? What are the outcomes that can be anticipated? I also think that it's very, very important to include survivors in their accountability. Because I feel like we talk about all of these things that we want to do for our children, but then who is keeping us accountable? So when we have the National Survivor Councils in place, these are the people that will be holding us accountable, telling us this is the far that we've come, this is what more that needs to be done, and this is where we're going off track, And I believe we're here for that purpose. Looking at this room, I see global leaders, I see allies, I see partners. I feel like when we bring our resources, when we bring our influence, our commitments together and prioritize survivors, then we will make the change that we want to see. We will help create a safe world for our children. That is what I believe, and I invite you to honor these commitments as we continue with the discussions today and tomorrow. Thank you so much.